How you doing? Greetings, folks. It's another day. Water Blue Channel. Van life. Only a 360 to get things started. I wanted to update the information about solar power, and I've already showed you the top, but as you saw, I had my portable rock pals on my front window, and this time it was outside, and that's because I wanted to show you that I have 300 watts of mix and match solar. So this is the rock pals. If you see, I tether it to the vehicle with bungees with hooks. They go into the eyelets. This one, I normally just use this carabiner here and just kind of just leave it right hooked over the antenna. Here's the wire coming through the window, and that's easily it's movable. I extended that wire, so if you see now, I have some of it tucked away. So when it's on the dashboard here, when it's in that area, it doesn't tug, and it has plenty of breathing room, so to speak. I have all of my solar connected in parallel. And I wanted to show you this. Jackery comes with the car adapter input, okay, to the Jackery. That's my Jackery 1000, and you see that I'm using the Jackery parallel adapter. So I want to explain something interesting that I did with that. It has two inputs, as you see right there, and then one of the inputs is going into the Anderson input on the Jackery. Excuse the dust. So what I did was, instead of completely splicing my solar that's coming in through those two wires, what I did was I tapped into it with pretty much a cigarette lighter port right there. The cigarette lighter port is here. This is just a dual adapter for the cigarette port. Okay, so that is separate. But basically, I extended, or I made a port rather, into, it's a little further down, but anyway, into those two wires. Now that's coming from 200 watts upstairs. 300 watts altogether when you combine that with the rock pals on the front glass. So what I did was, one of my inputs here, that's going into the Jackery parallel adapter. If you see, this wire here is going into that side. This side actually is going into the AC adapter that is connected to, very difficult to see, but there is a red inverter. Okay, now that inverter is connected to an old socket port that only was hot when the when the car is turned on. So I got the idea to hook one up to one side, one up to the other. That way, no matter what, I'll always have solar coming in. Whether it's day or night. If I have to turn the car on, the car will pick it up. And if it's just regular in the day, hey. So in other words, it's a hand-free system. I don't have to deal with anything anymore when it comes to the Jackery. It's either it's going to be charging from here, and that's directly from the solar, or it's going to be charging from that inverter back there. Okay? Give you a little bit better view. See there? So it'll be charging from one or the other. And so yeah, that really works out as a good system if anybody's interested in trying that new setup. Now, all of my solar at the very end in this area, I have a Florion 200 watt. You see that's charging right now. And I have another Florion here. Those two I only use for very small, low-powered equipment. Even though I can use AC ports, I could use the AC ports, but I hardly ever use those. I might want to take it out and cut my hair. I might use some barber clippers, but not too much. So basically, at the end of my solar, I have 3 barrel ports. Now this is the Max Oak. I forgot the 240. Yeah, Max Oak. I believe it's the 240. But anyway, that's 400 watt hour, and that is connected with its barrel plug. So basically, what I did at the tip of all of my solar setup, I spliced together and made an adapter that basically has 3 different barrel plugs. One for each of the Florions, and then one for the Max Oak. The Jackery, I didn't have to because, like I said, I tapped in to the solar with that set up there. I just made a cigarette lighter port, and there it is. And it's actually charging right now, and it's at 100%, but it's getting 40 or 53 in, only because it's almost full. And the reason that it's taking 40 out is because I have it connected to my Alpi-Cool, excuse me. And the Alpi-Cool, I always set it to lower temperature in the day, and when it's in the sun, because it's pretty much just giving an even swap hand to hand. And in the nighttime, I turn it down because it obviously doesn't need as much electricity. So that was that. I told you I was going to update my solar setup, and now you know exactly what's going on. You know exactly how everything is working. And yeah, everything is just great. I couldn't really ask for a better setup. And this all just came from my mind. And I mean, is there a such thing as original idea? I think not. Even the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So I give credit to, even though I might not remember, I'm sure I was inspired by someone at some point. Okay. Oh, and I also want to show you my fan setup. I have an Opaler, and that one is very quiet. Like, that whispers. This fan I bought, it's a clip-on also, and I have that connected via DC to this on the back side. They have a DC input. It's just a cigarette lighter port, and that runs this fan, which is kind of loud actually. But I have them both blowing this direction, and you know, it really does. They do their job with the wind circulation. I actually have one other one. That's another fan that I need, and all of these fans are connected either via DC or cigarette lighter port. The reason being is because sometimes if I find old USB cables, normally it's the tip that goes into the phone or whatever device that kind of fails. So I just resplice them together, because this particular cord is connected to that fan. But look at the end. You know, it's not a USB end, but the other side is connected to my Florion, and it is this input right here. You can tell by the wire. The wire is a little, you know, has a funny texture. See? And it's back there. So, I don't know, things are a little disheveled, but not so bad for my taste today. And, all right, well, anyway, thank you for listening. We're doing some new things, and I told you I'll let you know about that stuff moving forward. So thank you for your time, and thank you for listening, and hopefully this was able to inspire somebody, give you some ideas. Sorry I'm squinting so much, but the sun has kind of got me beat. Anyway, blessings, and have a good life. All right, pass it forward. Peace.